We're live.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here at our 520 Overlake Access Ramp press conference. I'm Kirk Hovenpotter, the Executive Director of Move Redmond, and I'm honored to be joined here today by our panel of folks who are going to be talking about the Overlake Access Ramp project. We're joined by Move Redmond's Transportation Specialist, Sol Dressa. We're joined by Disability Rights Washington's Fellow, Micah Louisian. We're joined by Redmond resident, Brian Baker, and 350 Washington's Andrew Kidda. Thank you all so much you could join us here in person, and everyone who can join us on Instagram Live today. Today we're going to be, for just a quick run show, I'm going to be providing a little bit of background on the project and talking about the impact and our asks around the WashDOT's 520 Overlake Access Ramp project. If you don't know our organization, Move Redmond is a nonprofit advocate for better biking, walking, and transit in Redmond. Our organization represents the over 100,000 people who come to work or school in Redmond every single day. That makes us a powerful advocate for affordable bus passes, more frequent bus service, accessible sidewalks and crosswalks, protected bike lanes and trails that make it easy to reach Redmond from across the region. And our organization has been working for over 30 years to make it easy to walk, bike, and take the bus around Redmond and get here from around the region. And we've also encouraged people not to drive alone. And we are on the cusp of opening Redmond's first light rail station, the Overlake Village Light Rail Station, that will make it easy to reach this neighborhood and the opportunities in Redmond from across the region. And Overlake Village is going to be a neighborhood that'll be easy to walk, bike, take the bus in. It's going to be accessible, one where it will be easy not to own a car to be able to get around. And it's one of the few neighborhoods like that on the east side, and one of the few in the region. However, there's one project that may complicate that vision and may make it more difficult to reach this light rail station by walking, biking, or rolling. The 520 Overlake Access Ramp project is going to be a freeway off-ramp that's going to bring cars coming off of eastbound 520 right into the heart of Overlake, a majority people of color neighborhood. This project is projected to be, costs around $68 million and is projected to bring about 1,280 vehicles right here into the intersection where we're standing today at the entrance to the Overlake Village Light Rail Station. That means it's going to bring about 21 cars per minute into the intersection where we're standing, right where thousands of people will be walking, rolling, and biking to get to the station. Making sure that it's easy to get to the station and easy to walk and bike is critical. And that's why we want to ask for this project to be halted until, this project as designed to be halted until these concerns are addressed. This project is a great example of projects across the region that need to be centering the needs for people walking, biking, taking the bus, and making sure that these investments are baked in from the center of these projects and not tacked on as afterthoughts or as mitigation afterwards. And as we've seen this last weekend, as the bipartisan infrastructure bill passed at the federal level, and as our state considers a transportation package, we need to make sure that projects that are being built by WashDOT or including that transportation package work to make investments like the Overlake Village Station more accessible, inclusive to more people, and need to make sure that projects like these that are being built in neighborhoods that are a majority of people of color, make it easy for people to walk and bike and engage the community in those conversations. And so that's why today we're calling for this project to be halted as designed until these accessibility concerns can be addressed to make it easy to walk and bike and take the bus to Overlake Village Light Rail Station. And so I'm going to be passing off to Move Redmond's Transportation Specialist, Sol Dressa, to talk more about how we can make this project accessible and inclusive. Sol.
All right, you ready to go, Sol?
Ready. My name is Sol Dressa. I want to take it back to the day, June 23rd, when we had our walking talk, where we talked about accessibility challenges in the neighborhood. We brought together folks in the neighborhood, folks that commuted into Redmond, as well as people that went to school in Redmond. And through this walking audit process, we centered folks that lived in the neighborhood. We saw challenges. We asked them, what are the challenges getting to and from here? What recommendations would you ask for? And through that, we did a list of recommendations to safer streets. We really centered people's experiences and developed these recommendations with the people in mind, right? While on the walking talk, one of the projects that came about was the SR5 off. A lot of folks didn't know that the off-ramp was happening at all. This set off a major red flag to me and a lot of the folks that lived in the neighborhood. I specifically remember one of the residents nearby talking about how she had lived here for 10 years and hadn't heard about the project. Major red flag. Myself, as a public health person, as someone who got their degree in public health, always think about the environmental impact that large projects have. I was curious in terms of the justification process behind this project, so I quickly went to the Overlake justification report to see what was their process behind that. What I found out was there was no environmental impact statement. An environmental impact statement needs to be done not only to assess the ecology of the land, but really to look at the environment and its relationship to human health, right? And it was surprising that this larger project did not have that. And we've seen historically how freeway and freeway accessories have impacted communities of color, and that, and when we see it, especially when talking about the proximity to a freeway, a lot of those folks take on the brunt of the pollution when looking at air quality and smoke. And with the Health Environment for All Act, or the HEAL Act just passed, this project would definitely be reevaluated. It would be reassessed, and it would be taken into, just looked at more deeply to look at the environmental impacts, especially when looking at it through environmental justice lens. Congestion around Overlake area right now is miserable. And we need to make investments in policies and infrastructure that really, help the folks that need it, right? So really looking at walking, biking, and transit infrastructure, right? And things that do not harm our local air quality. We need to pause this project. Actually, we need to put this project on pause until we have strategies that are efficient.
Yay!
All right. Yeah. Right. Good now. Yeah. Right here, Micah. Thank you. All right.
Hi, my name is Micah. I use he/him pronouns, and I am legally blind. And I'm also a fellow with Disability Rights Washington. And I just want to bring a few statistics that I love bringing to places like this. So according to the 2020 U.S. Census, people with disabilities are the largest minority in the United States at 20%. That means 1/5 of our population is people with disabilities. On top of that, we also have the highest unworking population, so people who aren't working. According to the Washington Council of the Blind, we have 70% of people with disabilities not working. On top of that, this is what's really fun, so much of our population, we talk about retirement age up, and then minors under the age of 18 do not own cars. So when we invest in the infrastructure to actually make it more accessible for pedestrians first, bikes, and then public transit, and still make ways for cars, but adding 5 minutes of travel to a car is less impact than 30 minutes to an hour of travel time for pedestrians, for bikes, and for public transit, and even just for safety walking. When we invest in actually making our freeway system, which is good, right? We need that too, but making it so that we consider everyone, not just the cars. We give power not just to the people who can afford and have the ability to drive cars, but also to the people who are walking, who are biking, who are relying on public transportation for whatever reason, whether it's abilities, finances, etc. So thank you so much for this time, and please consider this in the construction of this freeway ramp, to think about not just the access and opportunities that are being provided, but even the level of safety for people who may not have any other option outside of walking, biking, or riding public transit. Thank you.
Yay!
You got it? You got that? Yeah.
All right.
So here, you're good, Ryan.
Thank you, Brian.
Get it. Come on. Come on.
You're good to go, Brian.
All right, my name is Brian Baker. I live in downtown Redmond. I'm a frequent trail and sidewalk rider. I like the outdoors. I wanted to speak mostly about the infrastructure around these projects and what happens in Redmond. Redmond is not terrific about making it easy for pedestrians when construction's happening, but even after the fact, they don't necessarily consider the parts of a project where there's older infrastructure. We're on 152nd Avenue and Da Vinci Avenue Northeast. Right across the street there's new construction, beautiful wide sidewalks. But on this side of the street, the sidewalks are probably built in the 70s. From what I can tell, the construction is very difficult. I can't even use the sidewalks. I use the street to get around with the service dog. And there's going to be extra traffic around here. It's going to be more dangerous to be on the street rather than the sidewalk. I need them to consider fixing the infrastructure for the entire area, not just the exact part where they're working on the light rail project.
Thank you, Brian. Yay! Woo!
Get it. Yes. Come on.
Hi, my name is Andrew Kidda, and I'm with 350 Washington, and I work on transportation and specifically on getting climate pollution out of our transportation system. And it's a pleasure to be here today. For too many decades, projects like this have been routine. Politicians and transportation officials thought nothing of plowing through a neighborhood with a highway extension or an exit ramp. Their projects harmed communities, usually BIPOC communities like this one. They grabbed the land and built barriers in neighborhoods. They invited dangerous, fast-moving traffic to quiet neighborhood streets. And they polluted the air with asthma-causing particulates. Communities were decimated, some never recovered. But today, we stand together to protect Overlake neighborhood, and we ask local leaders to stand with us. The city of Redmond knows what the people of Overlake want. They have done outreach, and they have published plans for Overlake. For example, the Overlake Village Street Design Guidelines talk about developing a street grid with a strong bias toward pedestrians and bicyclists. And in their infrastructure investment plan, the city concludes the city is investing in infrastructure to support the vision of Overlake Village as a vibrant urban center, which will be accessible by transit, including rapid ride, passenger drop-off areas, bike lanes, paths, pedestrian and bicycle bridges over SR 250 that you see behind us, connecting to the regional trails. The vision here is for a dense, diverse, walkable, bikeable, transit-oriented development. Yet this is where Washed Up proposes imposing a new highway exit ramp. They want to dump thousands of speeding cars capacity of our roads to carry vehicles, and it would increase the number of vehicle miles traveled on our streets. It would increase the associated climate and air pollution. This ramp would also increase the risk to pedestrians and bicyclists and people who are rolling and risk that they get hit by cars. And it would discourage people from riding bikes into transit stops. Any plan that expands a polluting transportation mode and simultaneously discourages people from using cleaner modes is a plan we should reject. The Overlake neighborhood has a different vision for its future, one that protects people on the street, keeps the air clean, and limits climate damage. Let's fight for that one.
Hard to do this when your hands are cold. All right, thank you for everybody who's been watching today and for the folks who may watch later. My name is Rieker. I'm the Advocacy Communications Director for Move Redmond. We just passed the Infrastructure and Jobs Act at the federal level, and that means billions of dollars are going to be coming into Washington State for our transportation. And we have a vision that Washington State will lead the way in using those transportation dollars to reduce our impacts on climate change, to increase equity and center human health and safety, and be a leader and a model that places and states all over the country can follow. We know that it takes transportation at the state level to also leverage those federal dollars and ensure that we have a state transportation package that is centering our policy goals, the goals we have around reducing our climate change targets or meeting our climate change targets, the goals we have around Target Zero and Vision Zero and reducing pedestrian and bike fatalities on our streets. And we also know that it's going to be hard, right? But what it's going to take is investing in ADA accessibility. It's going to take investing in transit access. And it's going to take investing in active transportation. So folks who want to get around without a car feel safe and comfortable and inspired to do so. We're lucky here in Washington. We have a lot of incredible leaders at WashDOT. We have leaders in the city of Redmond, the city of Bellevue, on our state legislature who want to do these things. It isn't going to be easy, but we can start right now in Overlake Village and do things better that works for everyone. So let's get going. Thank you for joining us.
Fire.
Okay, how do we save it? We want to say, and now.